Hello again. Welcome to David Wand's Statistics Tutoring. I'm your statistics tutor, David Wand, and in this short video, I'm going to explain to you how my tutoring program, either my 24-hour, twice, 2 1-hour sessions per week over 12 weeks, or more condensed 12-hour tutoring program is going to help you pass your statistics course. And in this video, I'm going to explain briefly how you can complete a two-way analysis of variance ANOVA table to pass your test. Because on a test, you'll be given some columns, SS for sum of squares, DF for degrees of freedom, MS for mean of squares, F, which you're going to try to calculate, your F critical, which you'll get off your F table, and you'll also be asked on the test to estimate your p-value. So often what you'll do is you're not required to calculate all of these things, but you'll be given a summary table like this, and you'll be given the sum of squares for two variables, maybe gender and income or something, and related to some other dependent variable out there, maybe performance on a standardized test, for example, and they want to see if gender makes a difference statistically significantly on your performance on a standardized test. The same goes for income. If there's any effective levels of income on whether or not how well you'll perform on that test. And then they may also look at the interaction between gender and income to see if that statistically significantly influences how well you'll do on a standardized test. That's an example, right? So I will, in my tutoring program, will go through that with you and help you figure out how to go from sum of squares and with the degrees of freedom that you often get up, you should get on your formula sheet. I will give you a formula sheet that I've specially designed that you can either use on the test, or if the professor requires you to use their formula sheet, you can at least learn from my formula sheet what you might need to add to their formula sheet on it when it comes to degrees of freedom. And then how to use your degrees of freedom to then get the mean squares. And then from there, using the mean squares MS to figure out what your F calculated statistic is for the data that they give you, like the sum of squares. But I'll also show you how to calculate the F for each variable, let's say gender, income, as well as the interaction between the two. Your F statistics, that means you'll have 3 F statistics calculated. And then I'll also help you with your degrees of freedom, figure out from your F table what are the critical values for F for those 3 variables. And then you'll figure out whether or not they're statistically significant or not. That means you're going to decide if they're going to be statistically significant or not. And then finally, since you can't calculate it using your computer software, I will help you estimate the p-value using your F table, because on a test, you'll often be required to fill out all of those columns, the degrees of freedom, the mean squares, the F calculation statistic for the 3 variables, in this case, gender, income, and the interaction between the two, the F critical for those 3 variables, as well as the p-value for those 3 variables. And of course, at the end, they're going to ask you questions. For example, yes or no, is gender statistically significantly influencing the performance on a standardized test? Let's say it's the law school admission test score, yes or no. Does income of the applicant who's taking the test influence statistically significantly, yes or no? And is there an interaction between gender and income? Those are some examples, right? So if you want to sign up for my tutoring program, you can contact me at that email address, or you can call me on that number, and I'd be happy to sign you up. I hope to hear from you, and bye for now.